So Casey, you're looking at 5 ways that folks are making money online. Can you walk us through those?
Sure. Well, there are a ton of ways to make money online. Some are better than others. So our reporter did some digging to figure out which ones were really more proven and legitimate. One of those is becoming a virtual assistant. There's a ton of flexibility here, whether you want to work part-time or full-time. Tasks range from making phone calls to data entry. So that's a really great option. One that maybe takes a little bit less time is renting out your property. Of course, there are sites like Airbnb where you can rent out a room in your home or your entire home, but that's not the only thing that you can rent. If you have a car that you don't use too often, for instance, people can sign up to rent that from you. Or if you have a parking spot on your property that you're not using, that's another great way to make some rental income. If you're looking for something that's a little more like freelance or contract based, consider signing up for a gig website. Platforms like Fiverr and UpWork allow you to do micro tasks that range from data entry, photo editing, grocery delivery. So there's really a lot of options there. Additionally, if you have some expertise in a particular area, you may want to consider online tutoring or even course creation. Things like test prep and business English, coding are all pretty lucrative positions in the online tutoring world. Or if you want to create a course on a certain subject, you can use a platform to do so. And then every time someone signs up for that course, you get paid. And finally, if you're really looking to just make a little extra cash, not necessarily replace your full-time job, doing user testing is another great option. So you go on new websites or apps and you record your feedback in real time. You usually get a few jobs a week and they typically last around 20 minutes. So it's a great, easy way to just add a little extra cash.
Right, some really interesting options there, especially at a time when there's a lot of pessimism in the current job market. But one thing people do need to watch out for is online scams, right? What are the risks there and what can people do to avoid falling victim to some of these scams?
Sure. Well, like most things on the internet, job listings are going to have a few scams in there. People who are preying on the fact that you may be needing extra money, looking for work. So it's really important to be aware of these red flags. One of those is a job listing that promises you work without going over your qualifications or regardless of your qualifications. The same is true of any listing that has very unrealistic or unclear pay. So like a listing that says you could earn anywhere from $20 to $200 per hour, that's probably not a legitimate one. You should also watch out for anybody who reaches out to you like via a cold call versus you reaching out to them regarding a job. That's usually a pretty big red flag. And then, anyone who's asking you for money up front, stay away. There's, no reason for you to pay money up front for a legitimate job. And then it's, unprofessional communication. Typos in the emails, just awkward language. It's usually a sign that the job is probably a scam. And then finally, if you're being pressured to sign up, that's usually not a good sign as well. There should be no urgency in you signing up for a job.